Good afternoon and welcome to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts Fred and Janet Cox right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board right now, send us an email. Our email address is liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. And now, right to your hosts of the Liquid Green Health Show, Fred and Janet Cox.
And good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're into, very warm and a happy Sunday to you all. My name is Fred Cox. This is the Liquid Green Health Show, and my co-host is Janet Cox. Warm welcome to our listeners in Toronto, across Canada, the United States, and of course, around the world. We've been getting a lot of emails. This week we got some emails from some new listeners from places like China and Mali, and this is really an international show.
I wonder what time zone they're in.
I'm not sure. I have to double check into that, right? We've been having some technical difficulties at this end. I don't have my headphone with me. My headphones, but
folks, we need a new technician on this end.
Yeah,
somebody is about to get fired.
Gary, you are invited. You are invited to come.
Thank you. Hey, as long as you have snacks in your house, I'm there.
Okay.
We have Jamaican white rum if you drink.
Yeah, it's fine.
All things Caribbean at this location. Today's broadcast is like all our broadcasts. It's for education and entertainment purposes only. Purposely designed to stimulate the mind and help bring us one step closer to living a healthier lifestyle. Today's show is sponsored by Liquid Green Products, producers of eco-superior green cleaning products for your home, office, car, and of course, your pets. And, you know, before I go any further, I have to give a plug on Liquid Green. You know, our products are, I consider it to be eco-superior. It's the Bentley of cleaning products. And if you're not using liquid green to clean your home, office, car, or bathe your pets, what in the world are you using? So,
and you know, Frederick, for once, we actually agree on something.
You're kidding. We actually agree on something. Oh, okay. So, you know, to find out more about products, simply go to liquidgreenproducts.com and peruse the site. You're going to see all types of cleaning products there. Feel free. We're going to be, actually I can do it now. You can use this promo RR101 and you will get yourself 15% off on anything that you purchase from our website. That's RR101. It's going to be activated within the next 24 hours. So just get a pen, write it down, go to our website, make your purchase, you get yourself 15% off on anything that you purchase, right? We're streaming live today on Facebook at Liquid Green Products Inc. You can also check us out later on YouTube, Liquid Green Products, Liquid Green Health Show. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know where you're listening from. Send us that email to liquidgreenhealthshow@gmail.com. We want to hear from you, and you know, tell us where you are listening from. Today we have a wonderful guest.
Just before that, I wanted to mention for people in the GTA, especially in the East End, this week we actually are in a new location.
Oh, yes.
Where it's in Oshawa.
It's in Oshawa at
71 Albert Street. And this is for our local listeners. We know we have a lot of Toronto listeners. Yeah. And if you're in the east end of the city, in the suburbs, you can actually pick up for, you know, when they say direct from the manufacturer, we're slashing prices of all Liquid Green products for anybody who can walk in.
Yeah,
right?
We'll tell you more about that. So it's 71 Albert Street in Oshawa. Drop in. You can see us live there between the hours of 10 to 4 in the afternoon. Yes. And, you know,
I also wanted to mention, we have a young student, you know, in the whole interest of working with the community. We do have a young student who was able to work with us through an entrepreneurial grant. Our friend Malik, he's an amazing what do we say? He's an amazing community, a community vigilante. And through his program, he was able to place a lot of students in the Durham area with entrepreneurs so that they at a young age can begin to learn certain skills. So we at Liquid Green are very pleased to welcome Sky. And I hope she's listening. And I think we're going to have an awesome
A
month.
very talented young lady.
Yes,
Very,
isn't
very
she?
talented.
Just
Yes.
turned 16 when? Yesterday?
Yeah, so happy belated birthday. I mean, I know I've already wished her a happy birthday, but
Yes.
you know, once again, happy belated birthday to her.
Sky.
Once again, you're listening to the Liquid Green Health Show on Reality Radio 101. My name is Fred Cox. My host is Janet Cox. And today we have another beautiful young lady who have, you know, taken up our invitation to come on the show and to chat with us. And she is Jamaican born, lives here in Canada. She's an author. She's published a book of poetry. And her name is Natanyah Peterkin, right? And she has over 30 years of progressive experience in social services, professional education. She has overcome many, many major situational and emotional challenges and has positioned herself as a positive change. I like that phrase, positive change agent. Right? She's a positive change agent, and in her drive to change the attitudes towards health and well-being. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to our audience, Natanyah Peterkin.
Natanyah,
how are you?
welcome.
Thank you.
Great, and you look beautiful.
Before you say anything, I
Yes?
have to endorse your product. I've been using your product, Liquid Green, for so many years, and I've recommended it. It is absolutely amazing. It makes me feel so good when I wash my fruits and vegetables that it's
Great.
doing what it says it's supposed to do. So I just wanted to endorse that. Thank you
Great.
so much.
And then there can be no better endorsement from an actual user. We didn't pay her to say that, folks. That was off the record.
And Gary,
That was right off the cup.
And
the
Gary, today we're not going to be drinking Liquid Green today.
Okay.
That was right off the cuff. Okay.
So Natanyah, as Frederick says, we're so happy to have you on. And, you know, for our listeners and those who can see us, you are a friend and we belong to a circle of friends. Of course, I'm going to mention Hilsa and, you know, Norma and several other folks. And our time with you, whenever I talk with you, I always get a sense of peace, that you know how not to sweat the non-serious stuff, right? And that is one of the things I admire about you. And I hope today you're going to be able to share some strategies of how you manage to stay so calm in this very stressful world where everybody's talking. I mean, you know, the depression is on the rise, and mental illness and suicide. And yet there is this presence that so many people have been able to overcome and to ride through the noise. So my first question to you is, what is it that you do that's so special that has enabled you to have such a peace, like a peace, as Jesus says, for the religious ones, that passeth all understanding? What is it that sets you apart from so many others?
Well, I want to first of all thank both of you, Fred and Janet, for having me on your show. It's exciting to be here. That's a very good question. I should say that a lot of it I have to give thanks to the Most High, the Creator. I also have to give thanks to family, friends, even acquaintances or people who I don't even know, as well as my divine angels and spirit guides that are always with me and I connect with in order to ground myself. So it's like when we say that it takes a village to raise a child, or it takes a community. I look at it like that. Having said that, though, it's something that has always been within me. It's a gift.
Okay.
And I've always been told from a young child that I was special. Not even, and a lot of us are told that, but you don't really understand to the magnitude of that. I guess that's why I was given my name. I changed my name many, many years ago. And ironically, I didn't realize that it had meant the same thing. A child that is given was my name. Of many people who knew me from birth until a particular age know me as Donette. And in French, Donette.
Okay.
And donner in French means like, you know, giving. So Natanyah, which is a gift from God, that's it's a Hebrew name, and that's what it means. And I always say, wow, that just resonates with me. You mentioned about being around me and talking and that calmness. From, you know, I'll share this going back. I was packing up many years ago, and I came across a grade 3 book that I have. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Treasure.
And the 3 things were a social worker, tech, an airline stewardess. Check, I love to travel.
Yeah, we all do, right? We
Yeah,
all do. Oh my
and
goodness. Yeah.
a teacher. There were 3 things.
Okay.
And I believe that during my journey, all 3 have come into play in my life.
Yes.
So having said that, I've always had a love for people in general, just a love for them and a connection with them. So I give thanks to my parents as well in terms of the upbringing, but I think it's something that always has been within me. Yes, I have moments where I can scream to the mountaintop and vent and everything else. And that's why I mentioned friends and family, because you have a core tribe or family that you can go to sometimes, because I'll be honest with you, my work never ends. I dream, I sleep, I wake up, it's there. And what I mean by that is I connect with people all over the world. People I don't know, people I have known. And one of the things that I try to do is, I can say meditation and people would say, well, they find different ways of meditating. I could be talking to you and I'm in a meditative state. So what I always try to do is, throughout the years of being a social worker and a therapist, working with mental health clients, trust me, it takes a lot, because a lot of them are on, you know, medication. And way back in the 80s and early 90s, what I know now, I didn't know then until in the 90s. I had dreams, I was doing certain things because I was always told that I was unorthodox. When I was in conferences with psychologists and other therapists, they always said to me that I am just not, they didn't say I didn't fit in, but they thought I was different, just in terms of my approach, because I was never just a book, just go by the book. I look at everyone as individuals. And I treat them as such. But I never understood even what an empath was. I could feel clients' energy. Even when you're not around, I can feel and connect with you. And it used to drive me crazy. Never understood it. Until many years later, I had a vision and a dream. And I traveled to Israel and I came back. So it allowed me to, what would I say, go to this holistic expo. That's my first experience. And so I went, and it was a whole new world, because I'm used to you sitting here and we're counseling and we're talking, and there's a whole new world that I never knew. So from there, I decided to go into learning about herbal medicine, things like that. I became a reflexologist. I became an energy healer, but I was already that person. Exactly. So I started doing reflexology, and that's anatomy of the feet. So basically, it was phenomenal when I took it. I was scared, I almost quit, because I'm about psychology and sociology, and there I am learning physiology and anatomy. Total different ball game from what I'm used to.
Well,
But
it's
I
a
remember,
holistic approach, isn't it?
yeah, it really is. And I remember the instructor, I told her I was going to quit the first week, and she told me, she said, you know what, Natanyah, I think you need to stay and just give it some, give it a try. And oh my goodness, I'm glad I did, because
sorry, go ahead.
It opened me up to a whole new world of communicating with people, because I've been self-employed, running our family business and all that, and changes along the way. So getting into this aspect, completely different from the other kind of work you do, I realized this is where I need to be,
So for reflexology, we've had guests on. I remember Alvin Curlin, our first Black MP, that he says, Mr. Body, he looks after his body more so than going to the doctor. And the feet, he massages his feet every single morning. And I mean, we gave kudos for that. Then we were listening to one of the YouTube gurus who said, focusing on your big toe is so important because of the connection it has to the brain. So for health, why should somebody go to a reflexologist?
Okay.
What is that going to do for the rest of the body? Is every part of the foot connected to some of the part?
Every single. And when he mentioned the big toe, there's your pineal glands and your pituitary glands, right? Yeah. So everything is, so you can even do it through your thumb. And I teach my children and other people as well. When, how we get brain fog?
Yeah.
And we seem confused sometimes, or things are just not flowing. I always say you take your thumb and you just take the other thumb and just massage in this area here. Just massage it. Just, feel good. Massage your thumb to thumb, because you're massaging your pineal gland. Then you take this finger and then you go like a caterpillar and you just glide it over, just over where your nail is. You know what I mean? Like around, and you just do this. Do it on your 3 fingers, as a matter of fact. It always helps. You can do it on your feet. Yeah. So your husband can take your big foot, your feet, take your feet, take your big toe, and just rub it while you're lying in bed.
So you have to wash your feet.
You gotta try it. And really just massage, and you do the same. Oh my gosh, you're gonna get a good sleep. Your head is just gonna feel so relaxed. You gotta try it to each other.
Remind her to wash her feet before I rub it, okay?
Oh my, that's a good one. A lot of people some people would say to me, you know what, because I do hot stone massages as well. And they say, when I do a reflexology, I love it more than a complete body massage. And it's true. Really? Any clients that has received that, they always say you have that healing touch and that healing hands. I will go one step further, because when I started doing reflexology, months and months later, I decided to go into energy work. Didn't tell my clients. And my repeated clients said to me, Natanyah, what's different about what you're doing? I'm like, what? I never said anything to them. They said, what's different? Something is completely different. And I'm feeling things flowing through my body that is unbelievable. And I realized that naturally, when I was doing that, it enhanced the body. They fall asleep. So it is very healing. And honestly, I do it, I would have my feet, I would definitely, before going to bed or waking up too, that's why he does it, because it really helps you to start your day. So the only thing I can say is try it and see how, because I always say experience.
Yeah. Trust me, Frederick, you have homework tonight.
No. but prior to that interview that Janet just mentioned
with Mr. Curlin,
I always used to massage my feet, right? But after listening to him, I started doing it more frequently, especially before going to bed at night, or sometimes when I get up in the morning, when I remember. But what I've noticed is the massaging of the big toe. I find it to be very, 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 very helpful. There's there's something that I can't explain it, but it activates something. It gives a sensation.
I thought you were going to say sensual.
Well, that could work.
This is a family show. This is a family show.
You know what? You know what? When you mention about the big toe, I want you to Google where the solar plexus on your feet. It's kind of, you see your hand here, so think of your feet and sort of below that part there, you know? So try, and then you press and you just not hard, but you're massaging it on your feet. That will put you to sleep. It honestly, in about less than half an hour, because
homework.
But you know what? That's really good information. And I'm honestly going to try that tonight. And I'm going to challenge our listeners to try that as well. And
no, you're going to try that by yourself.
No,
right?
You're going to do my feet. Instead of reading to me tonight, why don't you just massage the feet? And if it works, I'll do yours next week. Okay.
Heaven on earth. And
I gotta wait 1 week.
You when you think of grounding and grounding yourself to the earth, you know, bare feet. You know, there's so many people who can't even walk bare feet, even in their house. They have to have slippers on.
Yeah, it's funny. We take our grandchildren down to the beach. I mean, the local beach down at, we're in Whitby, to the beach in Whitby. And I am always amazed. Like, I can walk barefoot, and I am barefoot in the house, honestly, up and down, no socks, no shoes. But if I'm walking on those stones, I find that hard. When we were little kids in Jamaica, we could run on the street with no shoes, you wouldn't feel anything. Now because of shoes, where our feet are so sensitive. But I see those kids, my grandchildren and our grandchildren, and they're just up and down the rocks in the sand, and I'm wondering, how does it not hurt? Right? So there is something to that. Now, Natanyah, Frederick and I have been having these discussions, very heated discussions, because here we are talking about wellness, but what is it, or why is it that so many people are so dissatisfied? What is it that brings us to this point where we never seem to be happy? If there's so many things about happiness, if you were asked to ask 10 people, what is happiness? We would probably get 10 different answers. But we're always in this society with so many stresses and wanting more, and the working. Some of us have 2, 3 jobs, never seem to be satisfied, comparing ourselves with the Joneses. How can we try to live? What do you have any words of wisdom for the folks who need to be able to just take a step back and say, listen, this is not true happiness. This is not really how we're supposed to live. Any thoughts on that?
You said a lot of things there, and I've been having this conversation on a regular basis with different people. I'll speak from just experiences and what I feel and at what I've said. I feel that the truth becomes the lie, and the lie becomes the truth over and over again. And what I mean by that is, we have been living a life of so much distractions. From the moment you're conceived, to school, to whatever, and get a job, blah, 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 the list goes on. It's like we've all been conditioned and dictated that when you go outside of the norm, like myself and many others, you just feel like you don't fit in because nobody understands, because of fear. And I believe that fear has contributed to a lot of how we have conformed ourselves. Now, talking about stress, from the moment, I mean, your parents, I I thank them because they have done the best that they can do with the understanding and knowledge that they have for us. So your environment, you talked about different stresses. There's environmental stress. There's emotional stress, physical, you name it. Now, that's a hell of a lot. So imagine whether you're single or whether you're married, it doesn't matter. We all go through our own story, our own life. A lot of times, speaking to so many people and older people now, I would get like, I wish I lived my life differently, or I wish I had done this, or I wish I had done that.
Right.
We have to come out of our comfort zone. For example, and I'll get back to what you said, all of us equally, globally, have experienced a pandemic.
Right.
Lockdown.
Big one.
Yes. I feel that it has been a blessing, and it has been a curse. You can look at it at both ways, but a lot of us learned from that and came out, and a lot of us are still having the residue of it. And a lot of us have been stressed. Like someone, for example, said to me, you won't have any trouble because you love being by yourself.
Oh, wow.
No, and it's not,
that's almost a negative.
But it's not by myself, but I am not in that corporate world where you always have to be I create my reality. Right. If I don't like it like this, I change it because I feel change is constant. And there's times when you want to change something, but you don't because you're so scared and fearful, because once you start changing or evolving, something is going to have to give and something is going to have to change. And sometimes we don't even understand it ourselves, but something inside of us, for example, we have what's called the meridian, the chakra system. I'm not going to get into that. People can Google the chakra. Some people are aware of it, on online right now, where you have your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your heart, your throat. All of these are key to the way we live. Now, if you keep doing something over and over again, and it's not satisfying you or making you feel that sense of happiness or joy, something is wrong. So how do you change it? And we have to, you have to be able to talk about it, or find someone in your family, community, or a total stranger to talk about those uncomfortable conversations. Because it's the uncomfortable conversation that sometimes your own family you can't even go to because they don't understand. And then it can become a confrontation, an argument, and it could have just been something very simple.
Okay, I'm going to ask, okay, sorry, go ahead. I was going to ask you to hold on for a minute. You're sharing some really excellent gems, but we always ask folks to share their emails, and we have quite a few coming in. So Frederick, we're just going to take a break. And
right, but before I get that, there's one point that Natanyah touched on, where she says she changes the way things are. And in one of my affirmations,
I know what you're going to say. I change the seeds.
If I don't like the harvest, I reap. I change the seeds I sow.
It's funny. Oh my gosh, we think alike. I wanted to say that. I can't believe where I'm
it's one of the lines that I have in one of the affirmations that I
think we've been married too long. Yeah, because we're beginning to finish each other's sentences. That's awesome.
Right.
Okay.
That was good. Just want to remind folks that you're listening to the reality. Sorry, you're listening to the Liquid Green Health Show on Reality Radio 101. My name is Fred Cox, and
also on Facebook,
and it's also on Facebook. You can it will be on Facebook after the show. You can catch all of our past broadcasts on Spotify, whether you have a subscription or not. Just type in Liquid Green Health Show and it will come up. On Facebook, it's Liquid Green Health Show. You will get us a few of our past broadcasts. We're in the process of putting all of it there. And please send us your emails. Let us know where you are.
I'm going to read one from Catherine. This is funny. Catherine says, "Oh, Fred, can you come over and massage my feet?
Oh, she did?
That
Yeah.
sounds so relaxing
Send me your
and,
address.
and sexually excited.
Whoa,
Oh my
I
goodness.
love you already, Catherine.
Catherine, I'm going to start renting him out. All right.
And here's one from Sue. Sue
Oh, that's
says,
funny.
I know that you're not accepting jokes anymore.
Oh my goodness.
But I
more
have to
jokes.
send one. I have to send this one in. It
Mhm.
says, a man walks into a bar and asks for beer. After drinking it, he looks at his shirt pocket and then proceeds to ask for another beer. After drinking the next one, he looks at his shirt pocket again and asks for another beer. This happens, it goes on a few times, seven times more.
Mhm.
And finally, the bartender says, well, every time you order a beer, you look into your shirt pocket. Why? And the man replies, I have a picture of my wife in there. When she starts to look good, I'll go home.
That's actually funny. Why is it the wife's
That's cute.
another that's
Throw his
bad,
wife
right?
under the bus. Thank you for that one, Sue.
Yes.
There's one more I have. Gail wrote in, says, if we ship to the United States. Yes, Gail, we do ship to the US. And you know what?
And Gail was listening from San Diego,
she was listening from San
California.
Diego.
Wow.
And you know what? I have upped the percentage I had said earlier is 15%. Now we're going to make it 25%. So use code RR101, go to liquidgreenproducts.com, and you will get a 25% off of anything that you order.
And that's because Frederick is giving up 10% of his own income. So
yeah, I can
this.
afford to do that today. All right. So back to our guest.
Yes. Okay, Natanyah.
You know what I want to say? I'm
Sure.
listening to the one that sent you that message about doing her feet.
Yes.
You know, you got I've never really checked, but I remember a friend of mine she had a book called Sex Reflexology, and you can Google that because I think it's very important, especially to know where certain parts of the anatomy is on your feet. And what I mean by that is, especially when I work with male clients, I work a lot on their prostate area. You know, I work on their solar plexus and I work on
how do you work on the prostate? Do you actually manipulate?
Yeah. Oh yeah, manipulation is good, isn't it?
Oh man, I gotta come.
Nice
let me know what time you're accepting patients.
You know, and not manipulate. You're stimulating the senses. You're waking things up. Because, for example, without people who don't even know, when I'm working on something, they go, oh my gosh, I feel a flutter in my stomach, or I feel something in my pelvic area. And those are the areas, my spine, when I'm working on the spine, they're feeling it, right? So imagine, you know, having a little sensuality, that's very healing and, you know, therapeutic as well. So you could be working on different, while he's working on your uterus, you know, and your pelvic and all your womb, all those areas. So it's good to get a map of the feet so you can know where you need to.
Can you go back to the prostate part? Can you pass some of that information on to my host so that I you know?
I believe she was listening attentively, and that is all a part of health. You know, when we talk about the whole, for example, a lot of us will say, you know what? I need to do a cleanse. I need a liver cleanse, or, you know, cleaning out my whole entire system. And then why is it that I feel the way that I do? Yeah. Your mind, your thoughts hasn't shifted. You are not doing much movement, whether going for a walk or doing some workout, you know. So when we're talking about health and wellness, trust me, it's taking us a lifetime to even scratch the surface because we're constantly learning. We're constantly learning. For example, there is, I always listen that helps me to be so calm and so relaxing. It's called 432 Hertz. Google it. Let YouTube. It's 432 Hertz, like HZ.
Yes. For the 432 Hertz.
Some of us have heard about it. Frequency. So if you suffer from anxiety, depression, pain. So if I have pain in certain parts of my body, I just put it on. And honestly, do an affirmation. Also, and you automatically, how we say, you know what, you have the natural ability to heal yourself.
Yes, you do.
You can, but you have to have that mindset to say, to be in the knowing. It's like a lot of times we say, I believe, or, I believe. I am now in the season of knowing.
Okay.
I do my best not to say believe anymore for many things. I am now in the knowing, and that is very sacred and important to me, because I am choosing to feel good. I am choosing this. I'm choosing that.
So do you take something very simple, or probably not that simple, social media, right? The whole world has changed with the onset of social media. I look at China, and now they're giving social credits, right? If you give blood all the good things, you get you earn points, and the more points, then you're allowed certain benefits.
Yes.
Now, even as little kids, like I see babies in strollers, and they have the iPads, and they have the cell phones, etc. And there's so much commercialization, and it's not going away. As a matter of fact, it's more and more and more. So from little kids.
Yeah, because
Sorry, go ahead.
We are gradually shifting into a new age. That is the Aquarian age. And the Aquarian age has a lot to do with technology. So you're going to see a lot more technological advances coming as we go along. But some of it we may accept, some of it we may try to block. Some of it we have no choice but to agree. But everything is energy, and that energy force that is coming in, it's ushering in holistic treatment. It's ushering in spirituality, everything.
But what I was trying to say is, with the advent of what's happening, it's deleterious. It is. I think it's a negative, because everybody is trying to have better things, bigger jobs, bigger homes, work more.
So
I'm looking at it from the negative standpoint, which is what is creating, because we're always so dissatisfied. Like, if I'm a young millennial right now, and I know I won't be able to afford a house because the average house in Toronto is $1 million, then I'm stressed.
Yeah, but that only happens when you allow yourself to be governed by those factors. Right?
But that is most people, and that's why we have people like Natanyah that are here to try and help. Let's try and say, how do we ride the storm? How do we not get caught up in the rat race, which almost so many of us are?
One of the things we honestly have to learn to understand is to learn to go within and to recognize. I realized for the past year and a half, I was getting so caught up and so bombarded and so consumed with all the negatives. And one day I thought, enough is enough. What the hell? This is just not me. I felt I was off. It was just not me. And I was like, okay, what went wrong? What went belly up? And I had to figure that out. And when I figured it out, oh my God, I felt so damn good. People were wondering, whoa, why? Because I thought, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't know. It's like you're being in this world, but not of this world. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, one of the things you say, we're bombarded with all this negativity, and you feel that, oh my goodness, that's majority of the world. But I tell you something, it's not. There's so many.
You don't think it's majority of the people that are into materialism?
I can't even put a percentage, but I will say, you have to now think outside of the box and get out of the cage. Like, we're in this cage, and I'm realizing that the world we have not even scratched the surface. There are seen and unseen things. My eyelash, there's a seen and unseen. And right now, you have to start connecting with people in different parts of the world, in different even parts of Canada, to realize that there are people who can't even relate to what you're saying. And I want to know why, and I recognize why. So at the end of the day, I'm realizing, and I go back to your narrative. I decided I'm not going to say this over and over again. This is what I want it to look like. I am creating my reality. And once I start doing that, I tell you something, it feels good. You ever had a good orgasm?
We just love this guest.
As a matter of fact,
and I'm talking about spiritually, like where you really feel good.
Yes,
like you
Natanyah,
really feel good.
this is a good place to tell us about your book. You've written a book.
No, before she goes to her book, I just got an email from Frank, and Frank says, so your guest actually does does prostate massage, and he says urologist has recommended it. All right, so she's onto something good.
All right.
So can I have my prostate massage this
When
evening?
you're going to see Natanyah, how much do you charge?
I'm asking you.
Through the feet. There's many for that, but through the no, seriously, people should book an appointment, because a lot of times, even our state of mind, the pressure, the stress. I've always, let's just take a second, and everyone who is there for just a moment, just take a couple minutes and just take 3 deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just take 3 and just close your eyes for a moment and see how you feel. Just 3 slowly, and just breathe in and just release. And again. And one more time.
Great. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yes,
to just
a few
take
seconds.
to breathe.
Yeah, just a few seconds out of 24 hours. That's all you need.
Just to take that. And I'll say one thing to you when you mention about technology. Something that has helped me 70% of keeping me calm throughout the day. I turn my phone off completely. I do what I have to do, and then I say, this is my time. So it's shut off for about 2 hours, sometimes 3, sometimes an hour. Because even if I put it on silent, I am an empath, so I'm feeling everything and everybody's energy. I can know who is texting, who is calling. It's too much.
Yeah.
So I shut it off, and I shut it off at night, and I turn it back on at 6 in the morning. There's so many people that say, what? Only one time, it was a situation where my daughter had met into a serious car accident and they weren't able to get me, and she was rushed to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And in a way, if I had gotten that call at 5:40 when that drunken whoever hit her, who knows what it would have done to me. So I said, the universe knows best. Right. But didn't you feel like, people say, didn't you feel guilty? Didn't you this and that? Thank goodness, all is well. But what I've done now, sometimes, because I'm a light sleeper, I may get up throughout the night, maybe 2, 3, and I would turn my phone on, just check, no family. I have my dad who is still alive, and I turn it back. I turn off back my phone. Yeah. So just to when you're asking what is it that helps me, it's these little things. I decided that I want to be control. I want to control my life. I want to control what I do the best way I know how to. So what I do may not work for you, but maybe you can tweak it or adjust.
I think for everyone, what works, I think what most people need to come to understand, it's basically, what is your purpose? What is my purpose?
But see, people also, it's not just the understanding, but they have to
recognize what it is.
Recognize that there is something wrong, and they have to learn how to not gravitate to these things that society has taught us to be the norm. Right. Which is outside of that spiritual realm. And that is the problem. There's a disconnect, right? There's a disconnect, in religion to say that, anyway, I don't want to go there.
So for example, wealth. So many people equate wealth again with being happy. But I was listening to a gentleman. He actually did, his name is Sheldon Solomon. and he did a 2-part series. It's on YouTube, and we can learn so much from these people on YouTube. And he was just talking about greed and happiness, right? And basically what he says is that if we don't at some point come to understand what our purpose in life is, we'll never be content. I remember long ago, I mean, years ago when I was still working, one of my favorite phrases was, contentment is the enemy to progress, right? And that is the Western way, right? If you're content, something is wrong, because you're lazy. You're not, you don't have that work ethic where you keep going, right? So, and then he talked about friendships and relationships. And, wealth can be measured in so many different ways. So Natanyah, what is it for you? If I were to ask you, let me ask Frederick first. Frederick, how do you measure your wealth? I'm putting him on the spot.
For me, it's a combination of things. Number one, it's health. Right. And I put health as number one, because if you're not healthy, then
nothing else, everything else goes to hell, right?
The second part for me would be my spirituality, is being aware of my spiritual self and learning how to understand it to a greater level. And then comes the material things, money. Because whether you like it or
where
not,
does the love fit into all of this? You jumped from so Natanyah, he didn't even mention that. Let me switch to you and ask.
No, but you asked me.
I know, so I'm waiting on certain things, and it's not coming.
No, but first I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of myself before I can start looking at the external part.
I am laughing because she's waiting to hear something. She's like, I'm not hearing what I'm supposed to hear. And that's so funny. What a lot of us think we know what our purpose is. And most of us leave this world and transition not even knowing or understanding. I feel that somehow I even say, do we really have to know what our purpose is? Like when we're told that, we feel sometimes pressured, and I feel it's something that's within you. I can't do anything outside of who I am. And when I try, it doesn't work and it doesn't feel good. Like I'm told, I know I've been told, and I didn't want to admit it to myself, but I've been told many times, Natanyah, your hands, you have healing hands. It's a gift. Never wanted to admit it to myself. I know that it is. It is, no matter what. I do distance healing for those who want distance healing. And it's a wonderful thing when you can experience it, just like I was right here touching you.
Wonderful. So and you also do, sorry, finish your thought.
I also do.
All right. I know you also plan the meditations and the spa.
It's my, my
you go,
retreat,
to Jamaica.
Self-discovery and energy. It's so wonderful. The last one I had was in 2019. I had staycations, weekends, staycations. I had the one in Jamaica, in Arakabessa and Blowhole. It was so breathtaking. And then I had to cancel the other one in 2020. But I had day spas and day retreats on weekends, in the GTA or on the outskirts, which was really nice. And people, it's just beautiful, doing yoga and doing mindful meditation and learning techniques in order to people fall asleep and don't want to leave. So a lot of times I always have to book an hour in advance because I allow people to just, relax.
You know what, Natanyah, it's like 6:22 already. We talked about this. We're always so short and running out of time. I know you have started a new podcast with our friend, our mutual friend, Donna. Donna was on one of the first guests on the Liquid Green Health Show. It was at Valentine's that you talked about relationships. So in 1 second, just tell us a little bit, how can people...
Timeless moments.
Timeless
moments with Donna
YouTube,
and Nat.
Right? It's
on YouTube. We
and
just
how can
started.
people reach you? How can people reach you if they want to hear more about what you have to say?
Just shoot me a text at 712-8992. Do check out my website at www.nighttabletalk.com. Please check.
What are they going to see on that website?
That will just focus a little bit about myself and about Night Table, my book,
Yes.
1 and 2. Very
you have a
spiritual.
second one. I didn't
Yes,
realize
there is
that.
a second one. And if
Okay.
anyone texts me and is interested, or they go on my site and they're interested, just shoot me a text that they're interested. And if they're in Canada, they can e-transfer opposed to going through my site, because I would give them free shipping. And you can
wonderful.
also download the ebook as well. You have that option. It is such a worthwhile reading. And do check out my Divine Flame 28. It has a few meditation videos, and it also has me just reciting my poem stuff from my book, and it's very healing and therapeutic. And that's
Divine Flame.
Yep, Divine Flame 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is that?
On YouTube as well.
YouTube.
Okay, so that's Divine Flame
28.
28, and your website is
My website is
nighttabletalk.com.
nighttabletalk.com.
And what's your number again that they can reach you?
Sure, 416-712 8992.
8992.
I'd love to hear from you.
Like everything else, all good things must come to an end, Natanyah. Sadly, we have to part. But this is temporary. This is temporary. I mean, we're always in touch with you. It has been wonderful to have you on our show. And
thank you for having me.
You know, there's a lot of information that we have not covered, but yet we have touched on a lot of points. And I do hope that our audience, are able to take away something from this.
They do, because Monica says, hi to Fred and Janet. Very interesting topic today. So intriguing. Thanks for the show. It is very enjoyable. All right. And Cindy says, nice guest today. Right. It's the feedback is great. We had read that one. So Frederick, what's coming up next week?
Next week we have another guest. Very, very, very interesting topics we're going to be touching on. We're going to be talking to someone who is in the health and nutrition field as well. His name is Foster Owusu, and he's going to be filling us in with some fantastic information that you don't want to miss. This is something that if you've missed any of our shows, make sure you don't miss this one that's coming up next week.
Especially for men, products that will help the prostate.
Apart
from getting them massaged through your feet.
He's awesome.
Lenny Lenny says, Fred, I love that motto. This is when we started.
When we talk about the Bentley of cleaning products. Yes, we do refer to our products as the Bentley of cleaning products. And as I said earlier, you can use this promo code RR101, go to liquidgreenproducts.com, and any purchase that you make on that website, you will get a 20% off. Did I say 20 or 25?
20.
It's 20%? I don't remember.
I think you said 25. It's 25.
It's 25? Yeah, 25%. I'm trying to rip you guys off, right?
And
you'll get a 25% discount to that website.
Kim says, we'll listen to you today. Always learn a lot from your shows. Thank you, teachers.
Right.
Okay.
Now, just one caution. The code has not been activated yet. It will be activated within the next 24 hours. Because this is something that I thought of as we came on air. Okay, so Natasha, once again, thank you. Not Natasha, Natanyah. Thank you once again. I'm changing your name, right? Thank you once again. It has been a pleasure, and we look forward to chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Janet. Thanks, Fred.
A pleasure. Now, Frederick, we talk about travel as one of the things that there's only one person I know that does not enjoy travel. That's within my own personal sphere.
Okay.
Right? They would rather stay at home and putter and do, work.
There are people like that.
Yeah. But I
But
want to
traveling can be
ask,
therapeutic.
it is, and I want to throw something out to all our listeners.
Mhm.
And this is to every listener, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in going to Jamaica
I would.
if we planned a trip? We are thinking about it.
Okay.
And Jamaica is not that far away, especially from Toronto or any place in North America.
3 hours
really,
and 45 minutes away,
from
folks.
Toronto, right?
So
And
let them
it's
send us an
something
email.
we're thinking about. If you send an email expressing yes, if we
Yes.
planned a trip, say soon, not too far from now, like say end of October,
Yeah.
would we have 10 people who would be interested in going with us?
So
All right.
yeah, send us an email. We have lots of listeners.
Yeah.
I know for sure more than 10.
Yeah.
So send us your emails and let us get your opinion, and we'll
We'll
go forward from
start
there.
with Jamaica, and then Natanyah, I know you're interested.
Why
in
you always
Africa.
starting with Jamaica? What's
Because
it about
Jamaica is one
Jamaica?
of the places that everybody that I know wants to go to Jamaica. Our son is there right now. He took his girlfriend,
Yeah.
and they're there for 6 days. We haven't heard from them yet, so I am assuming they're having a ball.
They're having
All
fun.
right, but Africa will be our next stop, right,
He's getting his
Natanyah?
And then
prostate
there
massage.
is, and there's so many other places. There's Belize, there's Costa Rica.
There's-
There are so
There's
many.
the
beautiful-
world. There's
there
the
is-
world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, so definitely.
Okay.
Gary,
care now.
I'm gonna end the show with Gary. Gary, if you could go to anywhere in the world you wanted, Gary and then Mike, where would it be, Gary?
Guyana.
I hate to tell you this, but because I was in a touring rock band, as you know, in the
Yeah.
80s,
Mhm.
I went around the world 3 times in 6 years. I was in
Oh.
almost every country except
Oh,
the
wow.
Middle East. Except the Middle East. But I have to admit, I loved Ireland.
Oh, Ireland. Okay, wow,
Yeah, I've
Ireland.
heard Ireland. is
I
very
thought
nice.
you were gonna say because you've been
Time,
everywhere,
time,
you just
time.
wanna stay home.
I
What
do.
about you, Mike?
Probably. I've never been to like an extremely warm climate like the Bahamas or down in that kind of an area. I like to go
Oh.
to where you can see the ocean and you just like see through blue to the bottom. I'd love to see that kind
That's
of environment.
Jamaica.
Oh,
That's
perfect.
Jamaica.
That's
We
where
have
I'm
the
going.
best beaches in the world.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
amazing.
With that said, it would be amiss if I did not thank my producers, Gary Labar, our audio guy, and to Mike
Mike
Swain, our video guy. We want to thank you for all the wonderful work you have done for us over the weeks. And to my beautiful co-host, thank you for being, a
for
pain.
keeping you in control.
Thank you for being a pain, all right?
Janet,
And,
he's
to
waiting
all
for
our
his
guests and all our
Prostate
listeners,
massage tonight. I'm
all our
sorry, Fred.
listeners.
If I may interrupt you, Fred, I know you're waiting for your prostate massage tonight from Janet. So we're looking forward to hearing about that experience.
Oh yeah, you'll hear about it.
Remember, it's through the feet. I'll just have to find out.
Darn it.
I don't know of any male whose prostate is located in the feet.
Wow.
You're about to find out.
Anyway,
Oh,
folks,
dear. Have a good one.
this
Have
has been a
great week.
wonderful show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. You have been listening to the Liquid Green Health Show on Reality Radio 101. See you next week,
Okay.
same time, same place. Have a good one. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts, Fred and Janet Cox, right here on Reality Radio 101.